About movie. Bedtime stories for adults. Hi everyone, I'm Ah Yue. I visited friend at hospital. Corridors filled with patients. Children's conditions broke my heart. Today, I want to tell a child's story. A story about love from a stranger. Let's watch Earthly Angel. Hey little butterfly, do you want to see your dad? Ed still remembers that blissful night 5 years ago. The night his youngest daughter was born. His wife named their daughter Miguel, meaning a gift from God. But while heaven gave a gift, it also took away Ed's dearest love. Now, his wife is critically ill. What's worse, their daughter has serious health issues too. That night, Ed wept like a child. From then on, he'd be the only man left in the family. This is Louisville, Kentucky, USA. The year is 1993. Sharon, a salon owner, drinks at a bar with her friend Rose. Though over 40, Sharon drinks heavily and even dances on the counter. She lost count of her drinks that night. She woke next morning. She automatically spiked her orange juice with alcohol. Rose had been waiting for Sharon. She knew her boss clearly had a problem. She took Sharon to support group, but Sharon stubbornly insisted, "I'm not an alcoholic. Is that true?" At the store, Sharon automatically grabbed a six-pack of beer. A nearby newspaper caught her eye. It was the local community news section. An article told of a 5-year-old girl who just lost her mother. The child herself needed a liver transplant due to biliary atresia. The headline, "Innocent Smile Fights for Life," haunted Sharon's thoughts. Something ignited within her. She suddenly felt a new sense of purpose. Learning the girl's mother's funeral was that afternoon, Sharon decided to attend. Ed was a robust, middle-aged man, but his unkempt beard and dirty clothes made him look utterly defeated. There was a door he couldn't bring himself to open, and 2 daughters waiting for his care. Family hid truth from Michelle. They could only say, "We'll go find Mom soon." But the glaring red rashes on the girl's arm made Ed realize her condition had worsened again. At the funeral, the priest wanted to comfort Ed's family. Ed couldn't process words. He felt some matters couldn't be solved by divine will. Some harsh realities were too crushing to bear. The sparkling dress and fashionable skirt made Sharon feel utterly foolish for attending the funeral. Her arrival came near the ceremony's conclusion. At that moment, she noticed the priest's final words. "Dear family, I want to give you a mission. Do everything possible to help Ed's family." True to her nickname, Little Butterfly, Michelle flitted around laughing like a butterfly. Suddenly captivated by the unfamiliar woman's outfit, she marveled, "It's so sparkly and pretty." Ed then realized he didn't know Sharon. Sharon bluntly stated her purpose. "I read about your family in the paper. I came to say I want to help." Ed thanked her politely, yet doubted a stranger could make any difference. Little did he know, Sharon couldn't shake the matter from her mind. While Rose thought donating money sufficed as kindness, Sharon felt an uncanny kinship with the girl. "I won't let Michelle endure a childhood like mine." Suddenly, an idea struck her. A way to make Ed accept help without resistance. After working tirelessly all day, Ed stared at the broken mailbox. Photos with late wife, no time for grief. Michelle refused to eat. He crushed medicine into her liquid meal patiently. "Where are Mom and Dad?" The question choked Ed. Words failed him. He gently tapped her chest, whispering, "Mom's right here." Now, Ed's mother Barbara moved in, helped son care for granddaughter. Ed's mind was in turmoil. He fixed the mailbox, found 4-member family handprints. Silence swallowed his voice. Ed wasn't some office worker. He worked on roof repairs for 20 years. Unpredictable storms are part of nature. Now the autumn storm season is approaching. A tornado that's the worst scenario Ed had envisioned. During such weather, the family must take refuge in the basement to stay safe. Family warmth made it bearable. The 2 sisters' favorite story was about a starfish. Then suddenly, the whites of Michelle's eyes turned cloudy. Ed knew his daughter's condition was deteriorating. He braved storm for daughter. Not one for words, Ed simply said to Michelle, "Let's adventure, little butterfly." Each time, Michelle required blood transfusions to stabilize her condition. Once they finally settled in, Michelle wanted her dad to sing the song. Her mother used to love most a lullaby. I can rub your tummy slow. I can rub your tummy fast. I can go from low to high. I can go from high to low. Shift from quick to slow or slow to quick. Michelle laughed joyfully. This was Ed's only comfort now. Then the doctor delivered grim news. Given her current state, Michelle has only 2 months to live. If we wait for her transplant priority, it'll take at least a year. Ed couldn't process anything after that. She's so young, she hasn't truly seen the world. What should I do? To make matters worse, Ed couldn't fathom how to pay the 6-0. He had no health insurance. Max credit cards paid expenses. Now his credit lines were exhausted. A single penny could break a hero. Ed had no choice but to delay payments. Last night's tornado left the town in ruins, just like Ed's shattered heart. Meanwhile, in the nearby city center, Sharon launched her aid campaign. She gave free haircuts. For Michelle's fund donations, having founded 4 companies, Sharon knew marketing well. Nearly everyone agreed willingly. Yet after hours of effort, the donations remained insufficient. Though Rose protested verbally, her actions spoke otherwise. She rallied all her relatives, over 40 people, to contribute to the little piggy bank. The $3,254 they collected felt substantial. Sharon wanted celebratory drink. Rose gently warned her friend about her alcohol addiction. Michelle improved post-treatment. She argued with grandmother. Barbara complained about noodles. Suddenly infuriated Ed. Later, Ed awkwardly turned his back to his mother, hesitatingly speaking a sentence. I can't afford noodles. I can't even afford half the food you want. Now I'm out of money. Daughter needs public hospital. His mother urged Ed to keep faith and continue praying, which pierced Ed's heart. He questioned faith. Then an unexpected visitor knocked on Ed's door. Sharon personally delivered the funds she raised that day. Though not much, it truly helped Ed's urgent needs. Barbara invited Sharon for dinner, but Ed seemed reluctant. Truth be told, accepting charity as a grown man made him deeply uncomfortable. Moreover, others knowing about his situation worried him most. At the table, Sharon noticed the stack of bills behind Ed. Michelle wanted a shiny dress like Aunt Sharon's. Sharon promised to make one for the child herself. Not only that, Sharon began contacting loan centers, inquiring about Ed's loans as his family member. Wine in her glass, Sharon was shocked by the loan amount mentioned. $432,000? How could you borrow so much money? Ed didn't understand why Sharon had come so early either. Sharon made herself at home, giving Ed no chance to refuse. 3 Max credit cards, $400K medical debt plus unpaid monthly mortgage interest. The hardest part? Ed currently earns $3,000 monthly at best. This trajectory will lead to disaster eventually. Hearing this stranger articulate his struggles, Ed stammered, unable to respond. It was both embarrassing and humiliating. Sharon suggested selling their house to ease the burden, but Ed firmly rejected this idea. The next step was prioritizing debts, repaying the most critical ones first. Sharon also proposed targeted fundraising. Seeing her past self in him, Sharon drank the wine. She again called her beloved son Derek's perpetually unanswered voicemail. The tornado's aftermath lingered. Hundreds needed roof repairs and reconstruction, revealing an opportunity to Ed. He planned to discuss with Mother. But Michelle threw a tantrum with her father. She wanted stars. Under the dim streetlight, a large hand held a small one. Michelle kept sharing her dreams of the future, aimed to be dancer-scientist. Ed felt a pang of sorrow hearing these words. Hoisted daughter on shoulders, hoping Michelle could get closer to the stars she loved. And closer to her beloved mother? At dawn the next day, Sharon visited them again. She even made the dress the little girl had been longing for. Today, Ed planned to apply for jobs at other companies. Hoping to secure some roof repair contracts, Sharon immediately saw Ed's resume was inadequate. She found the stoic man difficult to handle. Thankfully, the children's playfulness finally made Ed smile. Sharon personally accompanied Ed to the worksite. Ed's poor communication frustrated Sharon. She intervened, citing competition to help Ed get started. Sharon secured half the project workload for Ed, repaired 100+ households by year end, made Ed say it was impossible. More work means more pay. We'll just have to tackle it step by step. Thus they began their respective efforts. Ed recruited former co-workers to work faster. Sharon leveraged her strengths again, fluttering through city streets like a social butterfly, striving to secure special donations for Michelle. From waiters to congressmen, Sharon's persuasion gradually opened doors. After a month's effort, Sharon arrived with both good news and bad. Good news, over 11, 0 raised for Michelle, an amount Ed could never have imagined. Bad news. After medical expenses, Ed still owed 13, 0 this month. Worse, his mother Barbara sprained her ankle, requiring Sharon's help at home. Sharon used spare cosmetics to dress up the girls. But Ed unexpectedly chased Sharon away upon discovering this. Ed's late wife's belongings. Sharon apologized but countered. Ed has always locked away his heart, letting no one in. That's no way to live. At least you're not alone now. Behind that unopened door lay his wife's belongings. He'd sealed away both the objects and memories since her death. She loved Duke University's team so much. Even in his last words, he still teased his lover. The burly man suddenly choked up and wept while reading. Memories are like a gourd pushed underwater. The more you resist them, the more violently they resurface. Everyone has painful past. Even someone as tough as Sharon can't escape thoughts of her son Derek. Found Derek's band bass. Sharon showed up uninvited. What are you doing here? What do you want? Her son's clipped tone left Sharon speechless. She mentioned helping my gear, but Derek remained icy in response. Derek's resistance toward his mother had roots. Childhood memories of her held more sorrow than joy. He still vividly remembers how she'd apologize every time, only to repeat the same mistakes afterward. Derek had had enough. He drove her away, used cruel words. I feel sorry for Michelle. Sorry that you meddled in her life. In moments like these, Sharon's only solace was alcohol. A pained cry in the night sent Ed leaping from his bed. Michelle's condition recurred. Sharon took daughter to school. Barbara adored Sharon, her family's savior after all. As for her son Ed, Barbara knew him too well. He's just as hot-tempered and chauvinistic as his father. Ed returned complaining about rising medication costs. Sharon had no immediate solutions for their plight. Perhaps thinking of her own son, Sharon suggested ice skating. She bulldozed through Ed's protests, forcing the flailing man to skate all day. Seeing his daughter's long-lost laughter, Ed silently thanked Sharon from his heart. Yet he voiced his true feelings. My resistance comes from two things: protecting my family's privacy from intruders, and shame over being a helpless father. Stop overthinking and drop the pride, kid. You can keep hating this, and I'll keep helping anyway. What about you? We never hear your story. Ed's question made Sharon evasive. The iron-willed woman still rejected her own past. If I must summarize, there's nothing worth telling. Sharon married and had children at a young age. Husband chased band dream. Left her completely. Her son Derek takes after his father. Loves music, dislikes her like father. Sharon drank excessively again. It was Derek's birthday. Skated, reliving son's memory. Her repeated renditions of Happy Birthday could only reach his voicemail. For over a decade, Sharon had been leaving drunken messages for her son, but Derek never responded to any of them. Did I make mistakes? Do you really hate me that much? That night, Sharon's fragility drowned itself in alcohol. The next day, Sharon energetically reappeared before the family. Proposed selling Ed's house? Settled debts with savings. Stubborn Ed naturally refused. Despite Sharon's explanations, Ed remained unmoved. Ed angrily told Sharon, "This house holds my last memories with my wife. It's our family's final chapter together. I won't sell the place where we lived as a family." Ed's stubbornness convinced Sharon, but she didn't give up. She devised an unconventional solution. Sharon went directly to Michelle's medical billing company, forcefully demanding they waive the medical debts Ed owed. It turned out the 400 zero-plus debt wasn't solely from young Michelle's treatment. Years earlier, his wife's medical treatments until her death had accumulated through compounded interest. Now with Michelle needing treatment too, it became an insurmountable financial burden. Look at this girl's drawing. She wants her family connected. What have you done? You let death take her mother. Now you're delivering death to her daughter. You're a mother yourself. How would you feel in her place? Sharon was persuasive. She placed the negotiation results directly before Ed. Her gift this time was called surprise. The 400 zero-plus medical debt was erased through Sharon's mediation. Ed stood stunned. He couldn't fathom how she achieved this. What he felt most was relief. The overwhelming relief of suddenly being unburdened. I can keep the house. I can start over. Man speechless. He simply held Sharon's hand and slowly walked into his room. Even the broadest, strongest shoulders couldn't bear sobs. From that day on, Ed worked even harder. Sharon remained a guest in the household, kindly telling Michelle her favorite starfish stories. Suddenly, Michelle started coughing up blood. The family panicked, and Ed rushed to the hospital immediately. Situation critical. Hospital placed Michelle. Top transplant list. Without a donor emerging, Michelle only had 4 weeks left to live. Only Omaha Children's Hospital 800 miles away. Could perform transplant. Doctors advised Ed to prepare a private plane for emergencies. The term private plane overwhelmed Ed. He couldn't believe the doctor would suggest something so unrealistic. Fortunately, Sharon remained their pillar of strength. She assured the family, "I'll handle the private plane." Through contacts, Sharon learned only a few individuals in the city owned private jets. They were all CEOs, or corporate executives. Sharon first contacted Albert, CEO of Kentucky First Bank. After facing rejection, she began approaching others. But the elite were typically cold to unsolicited requests. Undeterred, Sharon resorted to her expertise, arriving solo with homemade desserts in hand. Soon, the entire bank knew Michelle's story. Sharon even won over Albert's secretary, who brought out the CEO personally. "Congratulations, Albert. I'll make you the city's hero." This bold greeting stunned Albert. Sharon delivered good news again. She secured not just Albert's private jet, but 4 additional planes stood ready. Yet Ed grew apprehensive, knowing he couldn't accept more help from Sharon. The debt had become too great to repay. He just wanted quiet family time. This attitude frustrated Sharon. Rose sensed something wrong with Sharon. The barbershop's collapsing. Everything shows you're addicted again. Just like with alcohol. These words struck Sharon's raw nerve. She didn't care about addiction. She would save Michelle. Someone has to help her, so why not me? How I wish someone like that would appear for me back then. That's why I'll never give up. Time flew swiftly. It was now the final week before Christmas. Now Michelle could barely leave her bed. Prepared sister's gift early. A starfish she'd crafted by hand at school. She knew she only had 3 weeks left. She feared she couldn't personally give it to her sister on Christmas. Yet her sister silently returned the gift. Hiding her grief, she told her sister to wait. "You'll give it to me yourself on that day." When Ed returned, the older sister confessed her fears. Feared sister's departure. Meanwhile, Sharon watched news anchor Amy on TV, suddenly inspired with a new assistance plan. Ed never expected his house would be draped in Christmas lights so soon. TV feature for Michelle? To raise public awareness and donations. This approach deeply troubled Ed. If Sharon's assistance made him uncomfortable, parading his daughter's suffering on TV for pity was utterly unacceptable to him. As Sharon tried to explain, Ed's words turned harsher. "I appreciate what you've done, but don't pretend this was for my daughter's sake. This was all for your own benefit." After their bitter parting, Ed's words echoed in Sharon's mind. As Barbara prepared to go home, Sharon's gaze fell upon the liquor in Ed's house. She succumbed again to the irresistible temptation. When Ed returned, his daughters were terrified to find Sharon completely intoxicated, nearly empty alcohol. Ed woke Sharon and demanded she leave immediately. He couldn't let Sharon stay with his daughters, especially not as a drunkard. You're right, Ed. I shouldn't come anymore. But know this, I'm already broken. My mother was a bitter drunkard who hated me. How I longed for someone to save me then, but no one came. Later, my son left me because of alcohol, too. He hates me. Every day, a voice in my head whispers, "You don't deserve love. You deserve nothing." Only alcohol silences those voices. This is the past you wanted to know about me. Today, you said everything I do is for myself. I don't deny it. When I saw that newspaper article, another voice told me it might have saved her. Maybe it could save me, too. But I messed everything up. I'm sorry, Ed. I'm truly so sorry. That night, the angel who helped me departed. Ed didn't know what to say, yet felt deeply sorrowful, because two little angels still cared about the once broken angel. This time, Sharon decided to accept help. She asked Rose to take her to the support center herself. There she confessed all her inner struggles. She uttered the words she'd resisted for decades. I'm an alcoholic. Time flowed on as life kept fighting. Michelle survived Christmas. That same Christmas, Sharon earnestly told her son, I'm trying to quit drinking. His beloved wife still lay here, surrounded by tranquil silence. Father stopped praying, but she still took his hand. Sincerely greeting the divine sky with a hello, she shared recent troubles aloud. At the first gathering of the new year, Ed showed up unexpectedly. He decided to try one more time, at least for his own inner peace. Michelle could no longer stand now. Snow fell outside. Time marched into a new year. 1994. The blizzard arrived abruptly this time. All of Kentucky faced blizzard threats. Closed roads made driving nearly impossible. Yet an unexpected call brought Ed both joy and anguish. Doctors informed Ed a matching donor had been found, but the window was today only. He had 6 hours to reach Omaha today. Storm travel too dangerous. Better to wait and see. But Ed felt with certainty, this is our final chance. Ed vowed to succeed against all odds. After days apart, Ed actively sought Sharon's help. Sharon steadied herself, first contacting Rose's family. Everyone coordinated with police to check every road for passable routes. Now, Michelle's surgery became their sole connection. Al hurried to contact his pilot. Contacted airport runway. 1 hour and 42 minutes. This was all the driving time Ed had. Bad news kept pouring in. Roads on the predetermined route were being blocked one after another. Everyone knew there was nowhere left to go. Rose's casual joke struck a chord with Sharon. Maybe a helicopter would be the best solution. Perhaps a TV station could help. Ed had now lost contact with everyone. Highway blocked. An hour had already been spent. With no alternative, Ed risked taking rural back roads. Final daughter adventure. The truck struggled through the raging blizzard. Like a lone leaf boat on the vast sea, solitary and utterly helpless. Sharon offered her assistance once more. The TV station had started publicly requesting helicopters citywide. Rose's family had mobilized to locate Ed and his daughter. Fate had other plans. A giant tree lay fallen across the road. No matter how fiercely Ed tried to move it, the massive trunk wouldn't budge an inch. Despair slowly crept over Ed. Anxious yet powerless. Ram it with a car, dig with bare hands. Nothing changed. Watching his daughter grow weaker in the car, Ed wept, confronting the worst possible outcome. He prepared to surrender. Back to Rural Junction, cried before daughter. Little butterfly, Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you so much. Unanswered plain question. Went to emergency phone. Time had run out. He'd missed the transportation window. He prepared to call the doctors to cancel the transplant. Now the entire city watched the TV news coverage. A miracle emerged. A kind stranger offered their private helicopter. Pastor contacted TV station, offering the church square as a landing zone. To the church! Let's all help this girl! People cheered, grabbing snow shovels and rushing out, ready to clear the snow. Just as Ed was about to tell the doctors to give up, Rose's family arrived. They brought crucial news. Hope reignited in Ed's heart. This time, facing the storm wasn't a fragile boat, but a mighty vessel forged by collective compassion. Blizzard intensified. The time left for everyone was only 26 minutes. Just as Sharon was at her wit's end, more people arrived. Strangers gathered, yet they all picked up shovels in unison. Then an unexpected person appeared before Sharon. It was her beloved son, Derek. Derek had never missed a single message from his mother. Sober catalyst. This rescue reunited mother and son once more. The arriving helicopter gave Ed renewed hope. Reached church early, but the pilot revealed a problem. The landing site was invisible through the snow fog. Ed then came up with a solution. He had everyone turn on car lights, instantly illuminating the landing zone. His sister offered her own idea, spreading a bright red blanket across the landing area. Suddenly, everyone removed their jackets. Marked location. The plane of hope descended slowly. The clothes dancing in the wind were like butterflies, fluttering under the light of hope. In that moment, Ed believed. He believed in miracles. He believed in love. He believed he was never alone. Before leaving, he wanted to thank Sharon. He shared his heartfelt words with her. I want you to understand one thing. That voice in your head is wrong. Worthy of love. You're a miracle yourself. Thank you. The entire city cheered with hope because there was light. Because in everyone's hands, they saved a beautiful life together. Under warm sunlight, Ed's family kept anxious vigil. This time, the little angel's eyes finally opened. This time, clarity filled the little angel's eyes, and vitality returned. End of film. Earthly Angels is a 2024 American drama film. This film comes from an incredible true story, where a stranger single-handedly saved a widowed father, and a whole town used their strength to save a gravely ill girl. Story continuation? Michelle received her transplant in time. She grew up healthy and graduated college. In 2015, Michelle married with her father, Ed, witnessing. Used news funds to settle all the family's expenses. She always appeared wearing glittering clothes. He has always been a member of Ed's family. Ed and Sharon have remained close friends to this day. Epilogue shows Snowy Miracle. Some have translated this film as Ordinary Angels, but I believe Everyday Angels is a more fitting title. We are all ordinary people, and to others, we are often strangers. This film acts like a mirror, reflecting the overlooked warmth and kindness in our society. It reminds us that everyone has the potential to be someone's angel, as long as we're willing to lend a hand. If you've been feeling down lately, I sincerely recommend watching this film. It might not make you cry, but it will undoubtedly warm your heart. Life worth living. Remember, you are worthy of love. You too are an everyday angel, and you too can create miracles.